Hey y'all, Kentucky Farmer here, and today we are back on the Westbridge Hills map in my test game for my 20-second video about Courseplay. In this video I'm going to show you how to fertilize a field with liquid manure with a refill course that works in conjunction with a field edge container that's being refilled by semis running in liquid manure transport mode. If you're new to Courseplay and you missed the first 21 videos, you might want to go back and start from the beginning. There's a link in the description to my Courseplay tutorial playlist. So the first thing we're going to do here is we'll bring up our HUD and we're going to jump over into the JCB with the field edge container. Now, one thing to note, if you haven't worked with these before, you need to transport these empty. So you can have a little bit of liquid manure in there, but you definitely do not want to fill this up and then try and drive it over to the field. There is pretty much no tractor that can move it once it's full. So just make sure you use up most of what's in there if you're planning on moving it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Now, the first thing I want to show you here is there's a little bit of a trick to this. Because we're going to be recording a course, a refill course for the actual spreaders, and we're also going to be recording a course for the semis to refill the field edge container, and then we're going to be saving those courses. Well, the courses depend on this field edge container being in an exact location. So what we're going to do is we're going to record just a short little course here that'll help us place the field edge container. That way the next time we bring it back over to this field to use it, we can ensure that we're placing it back in the correct position. So we're just going to say start course recording, and I'm just going to drive up here for a little bit, and I want to put it right here by this building. So then I'll go ahead and hit stop, and then I'm going to save this course as place field edge container. And then we're going to move the course into field 12. Alright, now we're going to drive back around. And we're going to tell this to drive course, and then we're also going to turn on stop at last point or next trigger. So he'll drive up here to the end of the course and then stop, and we'll disconnect the field edge container there, and that way we know every time we come back we can run this course and we'll always set it in the same spot. You see how it actually stopped here instead of underneath the stop sign? So that's why every time you run the course, it'll stop at this last point now. So we'll go ahead and stop the driver, and we can disconnect the container, and then I'm just going to pull the tractor over here out of the way and park it. Oop. There we go. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is we'll go hop in one of these semis over here and we'll get our Liquid Manure Transport Mode course set up. So if you remember from the previous video, the Liquid Manure Transport course needs three things. It needs to be a circular course. It needs to pass through a liquid manure refill trigger, and it needs to have a weight point where you want to unload the liquid manure. So I'm going to come right up here, and I'm going to start my course right here. So we'll say start course recording. And now I'm just going to drive all the way over to the liquid manure storage tank at the BGA. Alright, so now that we've reached our refill point, we'll go ahead and refill our trailer. Alright, now that we're full, we'll go ahead and just continue on with our course, and we'll head back over to the field edge container. Alright, so now we just want to come up here right alongside our field edge container. And then once we get about here, we'll check, and you see you got Y as an option, so we can start overloading. So this is a good spot. We'll put our weight point. And then we're just going to drive forward a little bit further here. Alright, and then we can stop our course. Now let's go ahead and save this as refill field edge container from BGA. We'll save that, and then we're going to move that under field 12. Okay. And now you're going to want to make sure that you're in manure transport mode. And then I'm actually going to drive this back around over here. So now we need to actually fill up the field edge container. So before we start setting up the tractors, I'm going to go ahead and get both of these semis running this course. That way they have a little bit of a head start on the tractors. So we'll just do nearest waypoint and drive course. Now if we hop out, we can watch. It's going to come up here. It'll get up to the field edge container, and then it will start overloading into it. And you can actually see the level is rising inside of it. So now we'll run over here and we'll grab our other semi and we'll have it do the same thing. So we'll bring up Courseplay, and we're going to do field 12 refill field edge container. We'll set it in manure transporter, and the other thing I wanted to make sure to do here is we actually want to lower our drive on. We want to lower this all the way down to 5. And what that's going to do for us is the semi will basically sit there at the field edge container. So say there's no fertilizer spreader that's refilling from it, and the field edge container itself is full, and the semi has about 25% left in it. Well, if we set that to 5%, then it will sit here and wait until one of those spreaders comes over and starts refilling off of it. And the way this works is if there's a semi waiting here, then it will basically draw the liquid manure from the field edge container, and simultaneously the semi will refill the field edge container. So that way we have more available to our spreaders. So we don't really want to be driving slurry back to the BGA. This is a long course. So let me actually hop over to our other. Alright, I'm going to make sure that this guy is set to the same setting. There we go. Now we'll hop back over to our tractors. Okay, so while the semis are refilling and running the loop, we're going to go ahead and get these tractors set up and ready to go. First part of this process is going to be setting our refill course. So I'm going to come over here to the edge of the field. And I'm going to say start course recording. We just need to drive alongside the field edge container. And then I'm just going to dip back into the field. And then I'm going to stop. And then we can save this as Liquid Manure Refill from field edge container. Oh, we don't have enough room for that. We'll say refill field edge container. We'll save that, and then we're going to move that up to our field 12 folder. Alright. And then we can clear that course. So now we're going to use 3 tractors for this. This first tractor here, this will be our inside tractor. What I mean is, of the 3 running this course, it'll be the farthest from the edge of the field. So we'll move him here, and then we'll get this tractor. If you notice, that first one there is full. I've got this one here at 66%, and the other tractor is at 33%. So I like doing that so that their refills are kind of spaced out and you don't have them all rushing over to the field edge container to refill at the exact same time. Alright, now we'll get our third tractor. Alright. So now we're going to set up our actual fertilizing course. And to do that, we want to make sure that we are in fertilizing seed mode. And we're going to come over here and we're going to select our field edge path for field 12. And we're starting at the southeast corner and we're going to head north. So again, that's field 12, southeast, and head north. And the working width for one of these sprayers without the cultivator on it is listed at 15 meters in the store. I actually normally run these at 14.5, just so I get a little bit of overlap and they don't miss as much of the field. So I'm just gonna... So, well, if one of them's 14.5, then 3 of them is 43.5. So we're just going to scroll up here until we get to 43.5. Alright, and now we can generate our course. So there's our start, alright. And then we're going to set the offset of this guy. He is going to be left 14.5 meters. So we scroll down Alright, now we are going to do symmetric lane change. And then we want to add in our refill course. Liquid manure refill FEC. Alright, we'll add that in there. Now we can hop over to the next. Now we'll hop over to this tractor. And we will copy the course from our neighbor there. And then we need to go into fertilizing and seeding mode. And this one will actually have no offset because it's running down the middle of the course. So I'm going to set that to 0. And we'll come over to this one. We'll put ourselves in fertilizing and seeding mode. And we are going to copy the course from our neighbor. And this one is going to have an offset of 14.5 to the right, so we scroll up. Okay, and we do want symmetric lane change. And we can drive course, drive course, drive course. So now this one's going to run out first, but it's also the closest to the refill course here. So we'll just watch these guys go. And if you notice, our first semi is back and our second semi is almost back. So we've got 2 full semis and 1 full field edge container ready for these sprayers. Which is good because when you're using these without the cultivator, they actually go through liquid manure really fast. So they're going to be making lots of trips over there to refill. Alright, so our first one's getting ready to go refill. So it's just going to drive over to the start of that refill course, and then it'll flip back around. There you go, and now it's going to follow that refill course to the field edge container. And now it's going to start refilling. And if you look, the level in the field edge container isn't really going down, but the level in this semi is going down. So that's what I was talking about earlier, how this is being refilled by the field edge container, but the semi is simultaneously refilling it as the room is made available. So what this allows you to do, the field edge container basically becomes a buffer, and it allows the semis to spend more time driving and less time sitting here waiting for them to be emptied by a tractor. Alright, so our second one is back and ready to be refilled. Alright, so as you can see, they're making good progress across the field here. We're about halfway done. We've got a mostly full field edge container, and the 2 semis are currently driving back to the BGA to get refilled. So it looks like our semis are not able to keep pace with the fertilizers. So this field's almost done, so it's not really a big deal. But if this was a larger field, you may need to consider adding an additional semi to the refill route or using 1 less fertilizer on the field. This one here will totally empty out the container, and so that's not full, but it will drive on and use what it has. And hopefully our semis will be back here shortly. Alright, now, since this guy's empty and the field edge container is empty, he'll sit here and wait now until the semi starts filling it. I wonder if that's a bug in Courseplay there. I had to manually tell this to start refilling. It should have automatically sensed that that had liquid manure in it and started to refill. Alright, so that concludes the 20-second video in my Courseplay series. In the next video in this series, I'll cover using Courseplay to completely automate fertilizing a field using solid manure spreaders. If you're interested in trying out Courseplay, I'll put a link in the description below to the mod website. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please click the like button and subscribe for more farming simulator videos. I'm Kentucky Farmer. Thanks for watching.